So you're watching Managing Day to Day with me, Christina Laster, and National Parents Union. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all thriving. Hello, America's beautiful children. We love you as always. And we hope that you all are just managing moment by moment, day by day, step by step. And so I am so glad to be here today with a special edition and a very special young lady that I have with me. And so I will let her introduce herself. There's so much to learn from her, and I would love to start that conversation right now. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Dajna Houston. I'm currently a senior at Vista Marietta High School. I'm involved in several different organizations such as Black Student Union, Link Crew, National Honor Society. I've been involved in clubs like DECA and others. I currently serve as the Black Student Union president, and I mentor different freshmen across campus to help them get adjusted to the lifestyle on the high school lifestyle. And then I'm currently committed to University of Virginia to study biology to pursue my dreams of becoming a doctor.
Now that is amazing. And, you know, I have to say that during the time I was serving as education chairwoman for NAACP Southwest Riverside County, I had the great opportunity to go in, talk to various Black student unions. Dajane is one of the people that I met initially as president of the Black Student Union over there at Vista Marietta High. And I was just so grateful for her level of innovation, creativity, and brilliance. And I wanted to just take off running with everything that she, you know, wanted to see come to fruition. And so talk about, you know, what you were experiencing on campus.
Okay, so I remember last year, my junior year, that's when I first met you because I attended that meeting where I wanted to start a girls' golden club in the community. So that took a long time to get started, but starting my senior year, that's when I started reaching out to different teachers on campus to try to get the club started because we need a teacher on campus to be the advisor. And that was very hard. It probably took a solid 3 months just to find a teacher to actually like do it. But then, you know, she said that she'd do it, then she couldn't. So then fast forward to like, I guess March is until we talked to the vice principal, one of the vice principals at Vista. And, you know, we talked and she said that we could be able to get this done after I talked to her at the beginning of the year of getting it done. It never happened. And so we finally got the space at the library to do it. And we had to go through a lot of different obstacles to get my mentor, my mentor to be the advisor for the club. And she has to like do different things with the school to be even able to get on campus during school hours because that's when it'd run. And so we finally got that started in March, but with everything happening, that couldn't happen. So right now we're actually hosting it online for free for girls everywhere. And then for Black Student Union specifically, we put on so many different events and like volunteer opportunities for our club and our members. But one particular event, we had the Black History Celebration in February, and that was a lot. So we started planning this event in like November, December timeframe. And then fast forward to January, or like, I guess, early February, we got word from our advisors that the administrators said that we wouldn't be able to put on this event for whatever reasons. And we were very, very disappointed because we spent months planning it. And this is a Black History celebration to showcase everything that our community does and like our excellence. So when we got word that we couldn't do this event for the reasons that they said, which weren't really actual reasons, I think, it was like a blow in the face. And then I talked to you and you called the higher ups and they said that, oh no, like there's no problem, like we could put on this event. So it's like so many different obstacles trying to get certain events that we as a students want to put on for our school and the community just to show that what we're doing, you know, like we want to
Right.
showcase our culture and like everything that we've been doing throughout the year. You know, we volunteered at different events like a cancer walk. We went to a very big conference at CBU at the beginning of the year with different BSUs from across the state, and it was really great experience. So yeah, those are just some of the different.
So that was one of the challenges that I was having. The same thing you guys felt is when I came to talk to you guys, and I would meet with you guys at your meetings on occasion. I didn't understand why you were being met with so much opposition for the great things that you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that they were actually very relevant for the school space and the educational environment, and that they would benefit everyone if you guys were allowed to do them. And so I kept saying, like, what is the main things that you guys want to do, and what do you feel are those challenges? Because I'm ready to go and advocate for you guys, and everyone knew. You go ahead, call Ms. Laster, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure it out. The things that you guys wanted to do were amazing, like the girls coding club, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked that that was met with the level of obstacles and challenges that you faced. But the beauty is that you're so consistent and unrelenting, and that's what it takes. It's often hard when you're a student and you're trying to access your education, but you're trying to fight for your cultural rights as well, right? Like, I'm a Black student and I want these things to happen to benefit us. You were speaking very well on behalf of the whole Black Student Union, and I'm so proud of you. I say that. And so, I was just like shocked. Like, who do I talk to immediately? Because this is not okay. And yes, the Black History Month celebration I had attended before the year before. It was amazing. It was open to the whole community, right? Everybody would be able to go. And so I was really confused about why that was hindered. And so really it speaks to what was actually taking place in the school and in the district, right? And the experiences that you guys have had as Black students. And we've had these conversations before, even talking about the Crown Act, right? And how people treat you because of your hairstyles. And so talk
Mm-hmm.
about how you guys felt on campus, in your classes every day.
Yeah, so I'd say starting my senior year, there is so much going on, not only at our school, but in the district, like neighboring districts. There's just so much going on. And, you know, students, we talk to students from other schools, so we know what's going on. We interact on social media. We have those conversations, and, you know, people from our school might have the bad conversations, I guess you could say. So the beginning of the school year, there's like a lot of racial comments towards, you know, Black community, and those were addressed in our school. Some of them were addressed by students who we wanted disciplinary actions taken against because they're just racist, like racist comments, like saying Black people are monkeys or Black girls are ghetto. Like, that's racist, and we
Mm-hmm.
want
Yeah.
actions to be taken against them, not them going to school and being protected by security. Not saying that violence should happen, but, you know, actions and disciplinary actions need to be taken against them, period. So not only were these comments made by students, but we had like microaggressions against taken or comments by teachers also. So that was a major problem because I know just within me and like conversations I had with students of a particular teacher's class, you know, it made us uncomfortable to even attend class. So
Right.
I had personal friends, close friends of mine, who would literally skip this particular teacher's class because of the comments he make about, you know, Black people, about Asian people. And, you know, when we finally had the courage to actually go to administration, because we know so many times instances like these happen, nothing ever happens. We just get tired of constantly going to them, but nothing happening. So we finally talked to administration, and multiple students came up that weren't even in the first conversation talking about, oh yeah, like this teacher, he's very problematic, like actions need to be taken against him. And, you know, finally we had so many meetings with you and me and the administration, and finally they had
Right.
um, the equity training, I think, And
Mm-hmm.
even after that, I had different teachers who were talking about it, like, oh, we shouldn't have to have training for how to treat people equal. But I mean, it's 2020 and teachers are still making racist comments to their students. So yes, we do.
Right.
And,
Which is
you know,
highly
I think,
inappropriate, right?
yes, exactly. It's so unprofessional. It's just like so unneeded and unnecessary. So it's like, I feel like it's just one thing that's taken for granted and like underrated, but it's like, you know, as we progress and there's so many different things that students are doing and like changing in society, like they need to have that training because students are changing every single day and they need to be prepared on how to act with them.
And so I had started talking to you guys about being ecosystem changers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just after the meetings, and like you said, the impact should have been felt um, in every day in the classroom. But what I had discovered was that we did have all those meetings, there were trainings, but the teachers were still pursuing their bad practices. And then pretty much kind of like you guys suffered because they had to be equitable, right? And so that one survey that we attended the meeting said 46% of the teachers on campus used harsh racial joking during class. So it just triangulates in what you guys had already told me. And when the students were surveyed, and it 46% of the students said, 46% of the students said that their teachers had used some kind of racial joking in class. I said, you know, this is not joking. This is hate speech. So let's start bringing in the proper narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, trying to, you know, teach you guys about what is hate speech, right? Do people have the guarantee under freedom of speech to violate your civil rights? You know, we had that discussion. And why is that okay? And so, you know, you guys were really trying to push for change, and you were trying to do right things, and really it should have been coming from the opposite end, right? It was the adults' responsibility, not you guys's, but you were still pushing, and I so value that about you guys. And so, you know, even just little hair comments. One thing that I was highly upset about was when one of the administrators said to you guys, if you want other people to stop using the N-word, you guys better stop using it yourselves first, right? How do you feel about that? You know?
Well, honestly, like I have mixed opinions on it just because, you know, as a Black student at a school with not a lot of Black students, I oftentimes hear the N word, like just, you know, I'm walking through the hallways. And yes, it makes me mad. Yes, it makes me angry. And I know different students in Black Student Union, we talked about it. They're talking about how, no, you can't say that, the N word, anything relating to like hate speech. And people are like, I mean, it's not even that serious. Like, it's in music, it's in pop culture. Like, if you guys say it, we should be allowed to say it. And then, you know, that sparks a conversation in class. And then action is taken against the Black student for disrupting class time when, I mean, they're defending themselves, basically, you know?
Right.
And so, personally, I don't think that people of non-Black people should not say the N-word, period. And I like that the administration is trying to take this action against the N-word, but I just don't know how I would feel if I was saying, not that I do say it, but if a Black student was saying it and a white teacher came up to me saying that I can't say that when, I mean, you're white and you're telling me that I can't say this N-word that my people have reclaimed, basically, you know? That's like, I don't know how to feel about you telling me that.
Right.
I don't know, but I personally don't say it, but I
Right.
know Black students who say it and they would not take that at all, you know, because that's something that we've reclaimed as people, you know?
Right. And so I was talking to you guys at your BSU and other BSUs about shifting the narrative behind the use of the N-word. And because for the most part, what I found was that none of you felt comfortable with it in music. None of you felt comfortable with the use of it by even friends, or of course people that were not Black. Like you said, you're on a campus that's dominantly white, and you hear it everywhere you turn, and this is all day, right? And so I said, well, you know what? Let's start shifting this narrative. Like, we can do this. It's going to require you guys to tell people, stop. I don't feel comfortable with that. It don't matter what you look like. I don't want to hear the word. It shouldn't be used in music. It shouldn't be used in videos. It shouldn't be used in any aspect, because it's vile, right? And we consider that hate speech. And so, you know, I was so glad to hear that you guys were ready to move into that change and shifting things and start to ask questions, even at the expense of people not accepting what you're saying, right? But you were still raising those valid points, and those valid questions. And so, you know, I feel like you guys could have been met with more from the adults, you know, but we know that it didn't happen. Some things did start to happen, but to me, it wasn't moving quick enough. It wasn't. And
Yeah.
you know, the last time I even came to see you guys right before this COVID school closure, and I said, hey, I had those meetings. How's it going in class? And everybody just looked at me like, and I'm like, no, I need to know. Don't like sugarcoat it. I need to know what's happening with you guys during class times. And you know, a lot of the students were saying, we feel like we're getting punished, and other students are doing the same thing as we are or worse, right? Or we're getting mistakenly punished, like we weren't even doing what the teacher said. And there's no consequences on the white students, but there's always a consequence on us. So talk about those experiences that you guys had.
Yeah, so like kind of like what I said before, you know, like being a student, a non-black student, you know, they might use the N-word in class or just say something completely racist. And a black student, you know, they call them out, you know, they defend themselves, they defend other people who are being racially profiled, I guess. Um,
Right? No, that's appropriate, right?
yeah. So, you know, that makes the student of color or the black student get in trouble for causing classroom disruption when really the student who's being racist and saying racial comments in class should be the one who's getting in trouble, not the black student. Or even, you know, I know one student, in particular, a black student, she was talking about how she was in history class, and I guess a comment came up about how black people are like the equivalent to monkeys or something. I forgot like exactly what, something
Right.
about that. And you know, she's like, what? No, like that, what? What are you talking about? That's not true. And then the teacher actually like defended that claim by a student, and she's like, she felt like she couldn't speak in class, like she wasn't comfortable in class anymore. She really didn't have the motivation to go because you know the teacher has this view, they're defending students with the same views, and she feels like when she says something against those views, she's ostracized by the rest of the class and the teacher, you know, and that's not okay. And you know, a lot of them just feel like at class or on campus, like there's definitely a divide between, you know, students of color, black students, and then the rest, because we, you know, we constantly defend ourselves, but we're looked at a certain way no matter what we do, no matter what actions we take against what's happening to us. And there's like, it's very hard to change others' views of us. Being, you know,
Right.
administration to a certain point, like they almost defend the students who should be getting in trouble, like the white students who make the racial comments.
Right. And you know, this is the thing. And I kept telling you guys, we know what it's like to be black, right? It's everybody else that has the issue, but yet we're left to defend our blackness, right? Which is not okay. Even to the point where, you know, the conversation about the Crown Act, right? And hair, like, who has to go just because they change their hairstyle or whatever, don't pet my hair. Like, I'm not a pet, right? And you know, why is it that I'm the only person, and this is what I heard from the students, why am I the only person being questioned about, oh, you did your hair, or your hair grew, or, you know, you cut your hair, right? And just being called out in front of people. And that's embarrassing. I can see where, you know, people, it would cause me to kind of go in with the mentality that, like, I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to see anything. I'm not going to interact. And I just got to get through this period of time. And that was what I was hearing from the majority of you guys. And so I was like, we definitely got to change this. You guys had amazing ideas. And so talk about what your Black Student Union meetings would look like.
So basically, every Black meeting or Black Student Union, we have like a set agenda, and that structure usually involves the beginning. We do a creed and we sing the part of the Black anthem, and then following that, we usually have an icebreaker just to get comfortable for what the meeting is going to entail. And then after that, we do housekeeping on upcoming events, community service projects, what we need to get done for the meeting, if we have an upcoming event or anything like that. And then right after that, we usually have a student-led lesson. So at the end of each year, we put together like a full year agenda where every meeting we have a lesson on different Black historical figures in society that aren't really taught in school. So like we actually learn about our history. And then after that lesson, we usually have a discussion on anything that's happening in the world revolving the Black culture. Like I remember our last meeting, it was in March, so we actually had a conversation about how the coronavirus is affecting, you know, how Asian people are treated and how this relates to how when Ebola was a thing, it affected how Black people were being treated. So that's just like kind of an example of a discussion that we have. And then after that, we usually do some activity, like fun activity, learning activity, and an engaging activity where we just we link what we learned in the lesson and talked about in discussion to like something physical. And after that, we wrap up with the creed.
And so I found that to be amazing because you guys had your own structure within the school, and you guys always were organized, such amazing leadership, such amazing agency in the kids that were members. And when I found out like all of the organizations that you were a part of, right, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And this should be at the forefront. Like your voices need to be heard, right? Your voices need to be valued and respected. And just having that historical part of your meetings is huge, right? Singing the National Black Anthem at the beginning, having that creed. And that was all student-led, you know? And so you guys are academically doing well too, you know, for the most part. And so I felt like it was a lot, you know? I feel like it was a lot to be a young student and has so much to juggle, right?
Yeah.
And I started to think like when they go home, they had to take all of these experiences from school today because a lot of the students said, Ms. Laster, we experience racism every single day. And I was like, wow, you guys have to keep up on your work. You're in all of these organizations trying to, you know, just do the best things that you can. You're doing everything right? Your grades, what the society says is right, and you're still experiencing these things, right? And what does that look like when you go home and then got to wake up and do it all over again, right? Like that downtime, what do you do to get your mind off of what took place at school that day?
For me, at the end of every single school day, I'm usually exhausted. Like I go home and I want to go to sleep, and I usually do, and then I have to wake up right after that. You know, I have to do chores. I might have an event after school that day, so I have to go back to school. I might have to pick my sister up from practice, basketball or track practice, or I just have like hours of homework. But you know, for me, like I have to take that mental break and like just go to sleep or relax, because if I don't, like, I'm going to lose my mind, because school is so stressful, not just from like the work that we have to do, but all of the extracurricular activities, all the social stress, of school itself. Um, but honestly, like, Black Student Union is probably the best decision I made throughout high school, just joining it, because we really are a family. Like, we help each other so much throughout the year. Like, when these racist events happen, we always have the daily or the weekly meetings where we can talk about it. We help each other, we like vent to each other, and we get our minds off all the stress of that in our meetings, because it's really a safe space for all of us. Even when we don't meet every single Wednesday, like, throughout the week, we still talk to each other. We have each other on social media. We eat lunch with each other. Like, we're really a family. And we're not just, we try to spread out across campus and not just stick to ourselves. So for me, one reason why I'm involved in so many activities is because I want to spread that representation on campus. I'm in Lead Crew, which is an organization that mentors all the freshmen on campus. And Vista is a big school. We have about 1,000 freshmen. So if we're going to be the one trying to mentor the freshmen, so by the time they're seniors, they could look back and see all they've done. We want them to come in with the best attitude and them to have the best year, so the next years forward are the best for them and school. So for me, I joined that because I want the few Black girls, a few Black boys to see me and all that I'm doing, and like, oh, I can do that. I can be great. I don't have to just go about the next 4 years of my life being miserable because of everything that happens on campus, which I know a lot of seniors are. They're just so ready to graduate because they hate going to school because of everything that happens. But for me, I try to make the best of it. Like, yes, this sucks, but what can we make better? Like, for me, I'm glad that everything that happened this year kind of happened, because now I know that we've had so many conversations. We won't be forgotten because we may change. And I know that me mentoring different students and being friends with so many people in Black Student Union, Latino Student Union, all those, it's going to make a difference, even after we leave. It's going to make the campus better.
And you said, because you want to be great, but I had to tell you, you are great, right? And so, talk about where you're headed. You want to be a doctor, which I know you will be. So I'll be coming to look for you when you graduate. We'll still be talking, but I'll be like, I'm gonna go to her practice, okay?
Yes, yes, I'm very excited to start the next 4 years at the University of Virginia in the fall. Super excited. Super excited. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm just so excited. Just make new experiences. Join different organizations. I really want to study abroad. I really want to conduct research and make the best of the next 4.
That's amazing. Now, that is just great. What would you have to say, now that we're all sheltering in place, on school closure, to other students, Black students and parents out here in the world? What would you have to say?
Honestly, I actually just wrote an assignment about this, but there's so many things happening in the world right now that we're not used to. We're not, a lot of us aren't used to staying home all day 24/7, being on lockdown, but it's for the best. I'm a senior. I missed out on prom, senior grad night, my even graduation, but I know it's for the best. We have to stick through this together, stay home, because at the end of the day, if we stay home right now, then later on we can actually go out and experience our life moments. If we keep going out, not all of us, but if some people keep going out, then we're all just going to stay in lockdown for longer, and that's not something that we want to see happen. So if we honestly get through it right now, then later we can go on and experience life as we're used to. We can do it. It's for the best.
And so, see, there's a silver lining. even in the darkest, situation. And there's always hope. This is our future, America, right here. Tajane. You see, this is our future. Other children, students, a youth just like her are our future. And I am so hopeful that their tomorrow is going to be bright. And you guys always know, Dajane, that I got your back, right?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
anything, y'all, shout out to the BSUs. Love you guys. And I just want you guys to keep shining, even through the darkest situations. Keep that unrelenting heart, that passionate pursuit. I believe that you will be accomplishing everything that you set for, with your vision. And I'm so grateful that I had you on the show today. We'll be talking soon. So, I wanted to just, have her come and discuss her experiences and also show that there's hope. You have been watching Managing Day to Day with me, Christina Laster, and National Parents Union. I hope you're all well. We hope you're all thriving. We love you. Goodbye, America's beautiful children. Have a mental wellness break, parents and caretakers, and we'll be doing this again tomorrow, same place, same time on National Parents Union Facebook. See you again. Bye.